Hey guys, Boxing Day 2024. Talk about leaving it till the last minute to drop a video before we go away. We're going to go away first thing in the morning down to the beach, so we thought we'd do our last video for the year before we go. Not that we've done many. So yeah, this one's quite long. It's on Orange Roughy. It's stuff that we did quite a while ago. Story of my life. I never have any time, so we haven't done a lot this year. But hopefully next year will be different. Our first project will be to finish Orange Roughy. Then we've got another one, and it is in a caravan, and it's not a trailer. So that'll be a real interesting one. All right, enjoy, and have a good new year, and Merry Christmas for yesterday. All right, back onto little Orange Roughy. It's actually 6 days later. I was working on it last Sunday. We're now Saturday, got some time. I put this panel back on just temporarily, so we could park it outside. But now I need to take this one off, which I've drilled out most of the rivets, and need to take the centre door hinge off and that door moulding down beside the door, so we can get this panel off here. So I won't record it because it's, drilling rivets isn't very exciting TV, so we'll come back once I've got the panel off. Okay, we've taken this panel off. Good news and bad news. Good news is all this framing is really nice and sound. The bad news is this bit's not. So if you come in here, you'll see this unfortunately is part of the frame like that. It appears to be isolated to just this area, and looking at the way that window thing's fitted there, I'm picking water's got in behind it, and that's why it's happened. This bit on front, this is actually two separate pieces, so that there is just a separate piece, and that runs all the way along. So I can cut down a piece of galv and replace that, and then I've just got to figure out how I'm going to fix this framing. I'll probably slide a bit in behind it, rivet it, and then cut it away, but just got to be careful because that is a structural part of the caravan. So I've just got to maintain that integrity. So I think what I'm going to do, firstly I'm going to replace this. This is pretty straightforward, just lines up with the top of that frame there. It's spot welded in there, so I've just got to drill those out, cut another one of those out of galv, then I'll replace this splash panel, and then I'm going to get on that. So I'm going to do that first so I feel better about things, then I'm going to tackle that. So I'm probably going to have to take these windows out and take this front piece off and then strip it right back and decide what I'm going to do. So anyway, we'll do this bit first. Yep. So I've managed to get this cover off. It was a pain in the ass. And I'll have to try and hammer and dolly it into something I can make a pattern off. In behind here is pretty good. The bottom of that is really, there's only that much missing. So this one, most of that's really still solid steel. So this I will wire brush wheel it, rust convert it. Then I'm going to put some more framing, if I can find it. Hang on. Be careful opening the door because there's only one hinge left. I don't want it to fall on the floor, that would be bad. So basically we will go that side, and we'll take this piece of timber out. I can't remember why that's there, but we will return it. So basically we can come up to here. I'll take that off, that's the remnants of that, and we'll come down to the floor area here. Around this side it's a bit more complicated. I'll use a torch here just so you can see. So I've had to take the front of the step off. This one behind still really good condition, but the bottom of this pillar's gone. See there? That should come all the way down to here. And the thing is, it's sort of what the door swings on as well. It's structurally sound all the way up. If you look there, you see there I've wire brushed that, so that's what all of it's like. So all of this will just almost scratch off, and I'll rust convert it, paint it. But my problem here is that I can run framing. Is that light okay?
Yep.
I can run framing or new framing all the way down here, that's no problem, and I can tie it into this pillar. The problem I've got, and you'll have to come around this side as I open the door and hope it doesn't fall off. Okay, that's leaning up against there. Come around this side, mate. That's all gone. Now, it's all, excuse me, I get my, it's all part of the door shut. Now there is an aluminium panel that goes over that, a decorative panel, and hides all of that, but still we've got that missing. Here, where it comes out is okay, and I can't touch that because that is spot welded to the inside frame, and the rubber, the door rubber goes over it, so you can't change the width of it or start messing with it. You don't want to go there. If I put a bit of framing on it, like so, just take the door out of the way. Problem is, if you look in there, it's the wrong profile. See the gap? So I can't use that. But I'm sitting there agonizing over what to do for probably half an hour. I pulled this piece of scrap, which when I built my bender, I played with it. You wouldn't believe it. I tucked that in the line there, and it fits perfectly. So I'm going to run that right down here. I'll put a wee cut to go. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll put a slice in it to go around this panel. I'll obviously hammer and dolly it up, and then that will run all the way down to here, and then around the other side. So I'll take that off again, then come back around. We're just going to shut the door. Hopefully it stays there. Yeah, sweet. So that other bit will basically come around and come over this framing here. I'll cut it to about there, and then I'll cut a piece of this, which is a bit longer, and I'll run it right up to here, and then I'll rivet it. Rivet them both all the way down, and that'll form the base of that pillar all the way down to here. And the new wheel arch cover that I put on will also tie into it as well, so that will add structure to it. And then there's another piece of timber, for which I don't know the purpose of, which comes back up under here as well. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be a fair amount of mucking around. I'll show some of it, but yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Okay. Okay, so I've wire brushed that all down best I can. It's really quite tidy, to be honest. It's a little bit scaly around there, but still definitely solid metal. Put rust converter on it. You can see it's turning purple there. I'm going to leave that to do its thing at the moment. Then I'll put some paint on it afterwards. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to get onto this, which is equally ugly. You know, just under here, it's hard to see, shadows, etc. But anyway, about here is where the most solid metal is. So I'm gonna cut this thing off here, and then you'll see here there's a couple of rust holes in there, so that's a bit ugly. So what I'll probably do is come sort of about there and cut that off, and I'll cut a new piece out, but I'll cut it bigger so I can tie it into that panel there. And we'll just, once we get that off, we'll be a bit sure of what the structure is underneath it. So I'll take the zoom off. Yeah, so I think that's the next step, and then once I've got that off, we'll have another look, and then we can go back, put some paint on that, and then just cut out our new one of these to go on top. just came close to making a very big mistake. So you can see there, I want to take this off. I'm going to cut it up here. So I've drilled out the spot welds, so it's nice and loose now. I was just about to cut it off and I thought, if I do that, I'm going to lose what the shape is. So I need to put the next bit over the top of that and make a template before I cut that off. Otherwise, this is just going to be a guess. Very close. This here, you can see it's got rust converter on it now. Only the very bottoms of that are gone. And I am going to put something in behind it. Even though that's still really good, strong structural steel. I'll see if I can zoom in on it. Oh no, it's all black, so it doesn't show you anything. Anyway, I need something on the bottom to rivet to. So even though that's pretty strong, I'm going to have to put something there. Also, I was going to take those splash panels out, but of course I can't do that until I finalize that one and that one, because as soon as they go, I lose what my heights are supposed to be. And the bottom of that determines the line of the bottom of the caravan, which isn't straight. It comes down here and then it's sloped down to the wheel, and I have to keep that the way it was. Focus. So, got to do that and that. Make a template for that as well. Okay, template made out of an old cardboard box we had lying around here. So we've got the right shape now, so I'll take that off, cut out a piece of galv. I also thought that I've gone further than my cut line. My cut line's probably 20 mil behind that, just because I want to take this over and rivet it into that piece as well as that beam that runs down there as well. So I can take that off now, and yeah, I'll cut the galv first, then we'll cut off what's left behind and see where we are. Alright, so I've got everything ready. I've made my piece of galv to go up there. So I'm going to cut it here. If you zoom in, you'll see there's a cut line there. And that's different from my join line because I want to have this area here that I can rivet to. Okay, I'll put my other glove on and I'll cut it. Okay, luckily nothing caught on fire. So this is actually the interior wall lining, which this is as well. So yeah, end of the splash panel. So it's going to make life a lot easier. That's the front of the floor in the caravan right there. I'll just quickly get my piece of galv. Right, won't be a sec. Cameraman's got a dash. He's got his mate waiting out inside, eh? Alright, so that's our join line there. Obviously it'll go underneath there like that. Come up to there. I'm going to obviously rust proof all on behind, but go rivet, 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 rivet all the way through. And then we'll carry this on underneath, which will all join up and form our structure. So that's much nicer, and it's pretty much similar to the same sort of stuff that we're using there, and it's not going to rust. All right. Okay, I've just put some rust converter white brushed all that off, same as I've done with the other stuff. Put a bit of silver over here, which is just drying. Put a zinc primer down first, then silver. But I've been agonizing about how I'm going to change this, because what I do have is I've got this big piece of galv here, which is 150 with a 20mm fold on the bottom, and I really want to use it, even though this is in relatively good condition. You know, this is a bit broken up and busted on the bottom, so it's not as perfect as it could be. And I'm thinking, well, how do I cut it off? We zoomed here. Nope, there we go. How do we cut it off? Do I run a cut-off wheel along there, which has got the floor on the other side, which is a bit dodgy because it's all, you know, 50-year-old tinder dry panels around it, which wouldn't be good with sparks. So it just dawned on me, I'll just slide the other bit up and behind it, and that way it looks nice and new from the underside of the Caravan. It doesn't matter if this is you know, encased by it at all. They're not going to react because aluminium and steel don't go well together, but that's galvanized, that stuff down there, so it's got a barrier on it. So that's what I'm going to do. The only thing obstructing it is a couple of rivets here. I can just drill those out, go in behind, and that means I can get my correct line as well. So yeah, much better way of doing it, I think. We'll give it a go, see how we get on. Okay, new day. Couldn't help myself last night. I ended up cutting out this piece of galv here that I was talking about and sliding it up and behind. Obviously I've got to trim it up. You can see that it's not quite the right height, but it's going to work the way I want it. And you know, you look at it and think maybe you just really don't need it when this old stuff's okay. But if you have a look at it from the other side, and we'll just go underneath, that's the look I'm looking for. Absolutely mint. So anytime you go for a safety inspection, warrant of fitness, that's all brand new. And that's sort of the reason I'm doing it, as well as the fact that we've got a really nice strong lip all the way underneath, unbroken, no holes in it, and it's just going to be strong. So definitely the right way to go. I think I will probably, not sure which way to go. I'll probably do these now, and yeah, then I'll cut that properly and put it into its right place. Okay, I'm going to fix up the bottom of these, whatever you call them, pillars. That's not really the right word, whatever they are. So I've got this stuff, which I got from Dave McRobbie at Caravan and Motorhome World. So I've cut them, and then you put them together like that, and I'll just show you here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stick it in there on top, which makes it nice and strong. And then I've pulled the piece of galv out from behind. I'm going to come in behind and put a rivet all the way through to rivet it there, and then I'll rivet it to there as well. If this lining wasn't here, I'd spot weld it, but it's just too risky with this wall lining. And also galvanized stuff's a pain in the ass to weld. So yeah, that's where they screw the the bed through, and they've missed. See? So they glue these to the wall lining, and then the inside seat gets screwed to that, and that's all that's holding you up when you're sitting on it. So, you know, get a whole lot of big people sitting on that seat, that's all that it is that's holding, is the strength of that on that wall lining. So anyway, I'm going to drill this out, throw some rivets in, and then we'll come back and have a look. Right, so I've just put these bits on, and they're really, really solid. Just riveted, they're fine. And I've riveted through here as well. I was going to rivet through to the chassis rail behind, but of course that will obstruct me from getting the splash panel in, so I've just left that at the moment. So that one's done, and they're really strong, so you can easily rivet to those when we put this this bottom bit of angle on as well. So I've just finished putting this splash panel on, which you can't even see because it's behind everything, but there we go. Glad I did it. Nice edge all the way down. And look at that inside. All the way up to there, and you can see I've just riveted it from the inside. It's never going to fail a warrant in that area. So I've just finished putting this bit on. It's nice and strong, riveted into this framing in behind, plus riveted, you remember we had like a 20mm overhang, so I've riveted it into that. So strong as, there's a piece of timber in behind that it's joined to as well. And I've got the sander and I've smoothed off that edge just to try and get a nice flow on it, and I've cut it right in there, so that's where the next piece will butt up to. So this angle, I had to measure how long it is, and you can't really do it with a tape measure, so I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I put some masking tape around it. I'm going to take it off and transfer it onto this. In my messy work area. You always end up in a mess doing this stuff. Okay, I'll pull it off and see how that works. Okay, so that's right. So I've got somewhere I can cut it now. I'll just make it like marginally longer. And then we'll put it on. I'll get it started and then we'll record the rest of it, eh? All right. So this is the next bit to go on. I've just made a start with it. So you can see now why we had to have these pieces on, and it's super solid. I'm going to rivet it from underneath as well. Obviously the hoist arm's in the way there, but I'll put some along. What I need to do is I need to make it curve up around here and meet there. So I'm going to put a series of cuts in it, and then hopefully that'll sort of fold over on itself and follow that line. So I'm just going to do that now. They're called pie cuts. I should be wearing safety glasses, really. Now, see that? That. Yeah, I definitely will. But see, that's not. I'm tempted to put one in there now. We need it for the for the cutoff wheel. All right. We'll stop recording now, and I'm going to make it basically another series of cuts, and then we'll come back once we've got that. And what's going to happen here is when it comes up, it's going to actually overlap itself. but then I can just go through and tidy those up later. All right, I'm going to put a rivet in there just to get it nice and strong. It's in here, and it should go all the way up like that. So I'm just going to rivet it as I go. And my riveter jams on every single rivet now. So you've got to clear it. Very satisfying, this. Be more satisfying if I had a better riveter. Okay, so you see how that nicely follows that line all the way up. In fact, if you come in underneath here, see that nice curve? And that's what we're looking for. And up here, I want that. Can you see where I'm pointing there? To be nice and flush there. And then they got this strip that goes down over the top. I'm not quite sure what the purpose is, but we will recreate it. Yeah, and it's a bit rugged down here, so I'll cut it off here and put a new bit on. Okay, I can probably do that off camera because it's be pretty boring to watch. And then underneath, I'm going to squeeze this together and rivet through here as well. If you look here, see that? I shouldn't worry, but I will. That bit's sticking down, I'll cut that off because that's annoying. Okay. Okay, so this is finished now. I'm really pleased with it. It's come out really well and it's super strong. Up and behind here, I'm going to put a torch on because it's probably a bit hard to see. We've run that strip down there. It was a bit yarn after that. So I cut it there and put a new one on, and I've run that down to there. So everything's tied in really strong, and I'm just going to put the hoist up. I'm just really glad that I put that splash panel on. I'm in an iron about it, but it's just made the world of difference. If you come under here, that's your bottom of your caravan now. And if you sort of look along here, so you probably want to be looking down that. There we go. So this is all, turn the torch off. This is all nice and new. All the way through. Right down the end here. I don't know if you can get in there. Can you come around here and have a look? Maybe. All the way to here. So super solid, watertight. Anything that gets up there isn't going to get up inside the walls. And it's just strong. So I'm really pleased that I did it. And it's a really, just come around here, mate. It's just a really good foundation now to attach the panels to. Because the new panels we've got rivet along here. And that is nice and strong. So, next thing is I've got to fix this here, where the base of that pillar is missing.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, well, base of that frame is the word I'm looking for. This isn't, somebody's been in here before. That's not standard. And if you have a look under here, you have to might come around under here. That's what you've got. So this panel's obviously, can you see it properly? This panel is obviously rotted out there. And somebody's just gone and put, you know, this panel, sorry. And somebody's just gone and whacked that straight over the top. So that's not factory, so I'm going to take that off. And we're going to do the same thing as we did down the front in here as well. All right, we'll come back when we've done that. Okay, we're back to this bit of frame in here. It's all gone at the bottom. I said I was going to take this off, which I am, But I'm going to leave it here for now because it gives me my line. So the problem with this one is it forms the bottom of the doorpost, even though that's really strong. So we haven't got an issue with strength, but we just want to, I'll show you the inside of it, which we did show. Oh, far out. Let's say far out. That's a better word than what I was thinking. So basically the bottom of this pillar, the bottom of here, has gone there. And you'll recall I had a piece of this, which is exactly the right size. So what we're going to do, just before I drop the door on the floor, I'm going to run this down here. Okay, and we're going to have to tap it down. Ooh, sharp, it went right through my skin. Okay. There we go, that's what I wanted it to do. Okay, I'll get that in position and come back. Got that in position now. Always easy when you're not rushing. So now this bit, intelligence test failed, goes down here, like so, and it's just going down to the base of where this is. And I'm going to drill that out, rivet that in, and basically that will tidy up the piece, tidy up that bit. Sweet. So I've put the first rivet in. I'm just going to check inside the door. Make sure I'm on the right track. Come around here, mate. Yep. So come around. So you see there, that's gone down and covered that bit that wasn't right. Now there's another piece of alloy that comes over there. Unfortunately there's a small lip there, but I don't think that'll matter. I will tidy that up before I put that alloy back on. But as we said, we can't go over this lip here. Good enough light there?
Yeah.
Is that better? We can't touch that lip because they're spot welded together, the inside and the outside, so we don't want to mess with that. Plus the door rubber goes on, so if we introduce another piece here, the door rubber won't fit. So that goes all the way down to the bottom, nice and strong. I won't rivet it there. I will, when we put the other piece of angled aluminium back over the top, we'll put some rivets through it, so that'll support it. So, happy with that. Get the door shut. So now I'll just put one in there, another one down the bottom, fold that piece back, and then we're good. Then we can put this on, and that's going to be it for the day. Okay, it's the next morning, Monday morning, 6:30. I've come in to clean this shed up because in an hour and a half we're going to be doing services on this hoist. So I have to just temporarily put it back together, so I'll just screw the panels back on to protect it in case it rains outside. So all of this lower structure is all finished now. We just put that panel on there, was the last thing really. So obviously the jury's still out on how I'm going to fix that, but anyway, that's for another day. So next thing we will probably do is take that moulding off there, that panel off, and everything below there, and we'll do all that structure. I know there's a bit of chassis rail underneath which looks like it's broken. Well, not chassis rail, but a step support, so I'm going to have to deal with that as well. Anyway, not sure when we'll get back onto it, but yeah, hopefully soon. Alright, that's going to be enough for this one. Bit of a long video, but we wanted to get it all out in one video before Christmas, so we will see you in the next one.